stocking up on groceries, especially around days when families gather like today. 10 News consumer reporter John Horn shows us how increasingly some stores are making that a challenge.
Christy Neal says it happens to her, especially when her kids see the sugary treats at the checkout line.
More characters, more colors, sounds, lights, put the toys up front.
Ever come out of a place like that and realized you've spent way too much? It's because the grocery stores know how to get you to shell out that extra cash. But you can be armed with ways to keep yourself from overspending the next time you go grocery shopping.
What if that big, bright sale sign at your grocery store wasn't a bargain at all, but a carefully engineered trap? Stores don't just mark items down, they first hike the base price, then slap on a discount sticker that makes you feel like you're winning.
Exactly according to plan. Nutritionist Laura Nemes says grocers do a lot to get more of your money beyond putting candy at the front. Placement matters. Pre-sliced cheese in the milk section can be half the price of freshly cut cheese at the deli counter. And there's a reason all those variations of Oreos and Cheerios dominate the actual aisles. Take the large displays on the end of every aisle.
Look, not always are they good buys, but it's placed there to entice you to purchase.
Olive oil that was $5 last week suddenly costs $7 before a sale, brings it back to $5.99. Most shoppers never notice, especially seniors rushing through holiday aisles. The question is, how many times have you celebrated a deal that wasn't real? Stick with me to uncover the real play behind this pricing ambush. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine this. You walk into a store and a bottle of olive oil that cost $5 last week is now listed at $7. Bright orange sticker shouts 20% off. And suddenly the $7 bottle seems like a steal at $5.60. On paper, the store looks generous, almost like they're giving something away. In reality, you're paying more now than before. Most shoppers never question it. The loud sign, the bold font, and the color scheme grab the eye, while the numbers slip past without notice. That is the essence of the false sale trap.
And as for candy at the front, Nemes says there are much better buys waiting for you in the actual candy aisle far back from the checkout line. It's harder to spot the smaller, more affordable brands.
The more shelf space they have, the more the consumers will see their products, which leads to more purchase.
The Senator examined supermarket pricing, calling on his experience working for suppliers dealing with the big grocers. They'll have their say.
It's not about saving money, it's about playing with perception long enough to make you feel like you've done well, even when you've lost. Grocery stores roll out this trick most aggressively during high-traffic weeks. The run-up to holidays when aisles are swamped with rushed families, or senior discount days, when lines are long and eyes are already tired, are prime hunting grounds. Cashiers move fast, baskets are heavy, and shoppers only glimpse the stickers rather than calculate the totals. Stores know it. Promotional calendars aren't random. They're timed to when attention is lowest. By quietly lifting a base price, they create room to slash it later. That shiny ribbon of tape promising savings is often nothing more than a cover for an inflated starting point. The reason this tactic sticks has less to do with numbers and more to do with how the brain works. Our minds process discounts as victories. 20% off is interpreted as a win, while the actual math is ignored. Very few people bother to remember prices from last week or even the last trip. Without that anchor, the new sign becomes the new truth. What once was $5 flat now rings in at $5.60 and yet is celebrated like a triumph. It's a mental loophole, and retailers have perfected the way to exploit it. Think of it like a naval battle. One fleet makes a sudden charge in the north, cannons firing, smoke billowing, causing confusion. Meanwhile, the real strike comes silent from the south, hammering the shore where no one is watching. A price hike works the same way. The splashy distraction is the discount announcement and the commotion of color and urgency. Hidden behind it is the stealth attack, the higher starting number that slips past scrutiny. By the time the consumer realizes, if they realize at all, the battle is lost. The items chosen for these kinds of fake discounts are rarely random. They're everyday staples that people tend to buy without much debate. Cooking oils, pasta boxes, Cereal or bags of sliced bread are prime targets. These are items people treat as necessary, not optional. When something feels non-negotiable in the budget, it gets less financial attention during the shopping trip. Seniors in particular often load these basics automatically, trusting that the sales sticker means relief rather than another drain on fixed incomes. That small difference adds up fast. An extra dollar here, a few cents there, repeated 2 or 3 times a week can turn into hundreds drained across the year. For someone living on retirement savings or a monthly pension, that pile of invisible loss matters. Stores also prey on urgency. A limited week offer, or only while supplies last sign, forces quick decisions, replacing calculation with instinct. People protect their sense of timing, afraid of missing out, when in truth, nothing has changed except the font size on the label. Around the winter holidays, these practices hit hardest. Temporary special discount bays appear in aisles, but the products placed there are often marked up first. Cookies, hams, cranberry sauces, and gift-boxed goods are inflated before being given a so-called deal. Shoppers preparing large meals under pressure toss them in carts without review. What feels like generosity during the season of giving is simply another stage for the same performance, an increase followed by a false reduction. The real twist comes when shoppers slow down enough to compare unit prices, the tiny print on the shelf tag showing cents per ounce or per pound. That's where the illusion breaks. Supposed $2 discount can mean nothing if the unit price is higher than a non-sale competitor next to it, but almost nobody looks there. And when they do, the shock reveals how consistent the manipulation has been. You realize quickly the sign isn't promising savings. It's promising a story. That story is the real product. False sales don't lower prices. They manufacture the sensation of winning. Customers celebrate a fake victory, adding items to their carts with a smile, while the house quietly collects more than it did last week. Sting comes too late, often when comparing old receipts or when the grocery budget seems to shrink faster for no clear reason. By then, the trap has done its job. And if pricing tactics work this effectively, then what happens when the strategy shifts to something less obvious, like the shape of a container or the way a package is sealed? The battlefield doesn't stay on the price tag. It spreads into every corner of the aisle. False sales are dressed as opportunities, but they are nothing more than staged victories engineered to feel rewarding. The tag on the shelf is designed to grab your eye, not to protect your wallet. What looks like generosity is often a careful calculation to take more from you than before. That is why slowing down matters. Read the unit price, compare receipts from last month, and question every advertised cut. Every deal you check is one less trick that works. Protecting your money in the store is where discipline begins, and leaving with real savings is the only win.